Howdy, class. I'm just recording a very brief video because I've gotten a lot of questions about how to access Brightspace and where to find assignments and stuff like that. So I just want to walk through that for our specific section, just to make sure that, well, hopefully people know what to do since we have assignments that are due tonight. Sorry, I'm just making some adjustments to my screen. So when you go to Brightspace and you log in using your CUNY first username and password, you'll then go somewhere on your screen, which will be a little different than mine is just because I've had my account for a long time, so things I might have moved them around. But somewhere on your screen, it will say My Courses. And when it says My Courses, just like mine has right now, all is an option. And then also there's options for each semester. So make sure that you're in the spring 2026 term. And then you'll have whatever classes that you have this semester that have a Brightspace site will be listed there. Our class is this one, 2026 Spring 8W2, Fundamentals of Public Speaking, section B054. So when you open that, now I just have to adjust this because I want to see it the way that you do. It's a little different than how I do as an instructor. So when you're in the main screen, when you first come into the site, the first thing that's here is the announcement, which is the same email that I sent to you all last week that was like, welcome to the class, and here's the introductory video, blah, blah, blah. So scrolling down, there's other cards or widgets or whatever these things are called that are on the main page here. I don't use any of the rest of this stuff, so this is not how I think about the class. But I do want to point out to you that this course calendar thing here is something that can be useful for you. So what it does is it lists everything that's upcoming for the semester when things are due, assignments, quizzes, whatever. So you could just go into these things to do the assignments. Now, sometimes students do that. I don't think you should do that. If you were not in this class and you're just in Brightspace, you might still be able to access your calendar and see all the assignments for all of your classes. The problem is our class is not just the assignments. There's other things to do. And if you're just using this calendar where it's showing you the assignments and showing you the quizzes, you're missing the class. There's much more that you're supposed to do. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top so that you see the main menu that's here. And the first thing that's important is here where it says content. And as far as I'm concerned, there's really only two things that you probably will need here from this menu. There are other ways of getting to things, but they're the same problem with the calendar. Like they're just going to limit to very specific things what you're having access to, and that's not how I designed the class. So if you go to content, the first thing that you arrive in is this table of contents. There's a course information thing that's here where you have information about the class, you have the syllabus, you have this thing called the course guide. All of that was introduced in the other videos, okay? The course guide, it again gives a spreadsheet with all of the assignments that are due for the duration of class right through the end in May. But if we go back to content, the next thing that's here in the menu is course modules. Course modules is where the class is. The class, again, is not just the assignments, it's not just the quizzes, it's all of the content of a regular class, all of our class lectures, all of the instructions for things, all of the content for our class. So it's important that you're just thoughtful about this is actually what you're doing. This is the class, is to go into this part of Brightspace, go to the modules, and everything that you need is here and it's in order. Module 1 is just kind of an orientation. Some of it is stuff that's from me. Some of it is stuff that's from BMCC. So all of Module 1 is just information. There's no assignments that you need to do here in Brightspace for Module 1. Module 2, Public Speaking, Overcoming the Fear. This is where we have our first assignments, our first quizzes. So at the beginning of each module, there's always an overview that's here at the top. And as I scroll down, we then see that there's a video. The videos are like class. They're like lectures. They're giving you the content, what we're doing in class, the stuff that I'm teaching you, if you will. So you watch the video, fine. Then the next thing that's here, it says read. The readings for our class are then from the textbooks for the class that we're using. So you don't have to get the textbook. The readings, I put them here as PDFs. You can read the chapter. Either it's a PDF or it's a link because one of the textbooks that we're using is a digital textbook that has its own website. Then the reading is preparation because then there's a multiple choice quiz. The multiple choice quiz is questions about that reading. Now, you can have the reading open and the quiz and be doing it like an open book quiz. That's fine. The quiz is not timed, so like if it takes you a long time to find the answer in the reading, that's okay. Take your time. It's just that it has a due date. And this quiz is due tonight at 11:59. All right. Scrolling down, the next thing, video 4, speech 1 guidelines and sample. So I explain what you're supposed to do in speech 1. I talk about the criteria, how the speech is going to be graded, and I give a sample. And then I talk about how that would be graded and what was right about that, what was wrong about that, that kind of thing. Then you're supposed to create an outline for your own presentation. That's assignment, speech number 1. You can see the instructions for the assignment are here, but to actually do the assignment, you click on the title, and then that's going to take you into the page where you can then submit that assignment. Because this is an outline for the outlines for the class, there's always a form that you're supposed to fill out. So here in these instructions, there's first a link that's here to something called the personal data sheet. That's just to help you to think about a story that you might include in speech number 1. It's not an assignment. It's just a support if you need that support to think about a story that you could tell. We have a sample version of the outline that's right here in the instructions. And then at the bottom, there's a Google template, which is the outline form. You must use the form. If using a Google form, a Google document is not convenient for you, or you can't figure that out, there also is a Microsoft Word version of the outline. So either you're using the Google Doc or you're using the Microsoft Word document, but you have to use one of them. It is required not just for this assignment, it's required for all of the outlines for our class. You cannot use a different format. You cannot use someone else's document. You cannot create your own document. It is not allowed. You have to use the form that I'm providing for you. And there's instructions very specific how to then upload the assignment, and then you submit the assignment and you're done. In Module 2, the outline is the last thing to do in here. So then we go on to Module 3. Module 3 is then where you're going to be uploading the video of yourself giving the presentation. So that's going to be due on Sunday. So the outline is due, tonight is Thursday when I'm recording this. You might be watching it later, but anyway, for speech number 1, the outline is due tonight. I'll give you feedback on the outline. I'll do that. I've already done some of them because some people submitted it already, but I'll do the rest of them tomorrow in the afternoon. And then on Sunday is when the video is due. After you've done the video, you're just uploading the video there where it says assignment 1. Then there's this, the next assignment is the speech 1 journal, which is like some reflective questions about your experience giving the video, and that's done through an actual Google form that you have to use the form. You'll click on this link. The form is there. It has some questions. You answer the questions. You submit the form. That's it. There's nothing you need to submit in Brightspace here for the assignment for the speech 1 journal. Then Module 3 is done. Then we go on to Module 4, Module 5, and so on through the rest of the semester. And there's 13 modules in all. Hope that helps. If you have questions, send me an email. Let me know. You can't do things after the deadline. So it's important to get yourself together. If you miss some of these early assignments, don't panic. Just go on to whatever the next thing is that's due. That's the way to think about it. All right.